Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinam Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschatadeshatari Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adaita Gadadhara Sivasad Gaura Bhakta Brinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adaita Gadadhara Sivasad Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada 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 Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaur Haribo. 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Parampara ki jai, Brahmota Guru Sampradaya ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Samaveta Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna, Prabhus and Mothers. Welcome to this session of Wednesday Bhagavad Gita. So, I hope you all are well. Let us begin with chapter 10 as we finished chapter 9 last week. And last week we started already chapter 10. So chapter 10, as we discussed, few things to be considered, that knowledge is something that we receive. When we apply this knowledge, then it's become a realized knowledge. But in order to apply it, we have to contemplate and reflect. And then after realize, then our consciousness has become purified or spiritualized. Then Krishna reveals. So that realized knowledge, we get revealed knowledge. We all will be able to see the Lord's reciprocation, how to see the world is His. Before we hear, but we not necessarily see it. And then you will see that everything is His for His pleasure. Then we become an instrument, and then Lord is pleased by your exemplary surrender soul. And this way, you will be happy, and whoever you illuminate heart through this knowledge also will please the Lord. And that is required. So this chapter, there are the entire Bhagavad Gita, you can say also Chatusloki Bhagavad Gita, the fourth sloka of Bhagavad Gita, which is also in this chapter. Most people in this world, when we look at attractive things, generally what happened to us? We get attracted. We see attractive things, we get attracted. That's a common amongst the living being in conditioned life. But when we become spiritualized, what is that means? How do you see that you are spiritualized or not? Means you will think about the source of that attraction, not the attraction. Not that we are not denying that we are not getting attracted. If there is a beautiful scenery or beautiful creatures or something magnanimous, something like wow, we express. More we become spiritualized means we will be attracted to the source of that attraction is Krishna. So there's a big difference. That is how we make spiritual advancement. In this chapter, Krishna, in his ecstasy, describe further about himself and bhakti in this also and next chapter. Whenever there is a greatness, Aishwarya of Bhagavan, and there is a sweetness of Bhagavan, when there is a combination of both, then it becomes very high level. So when Krishna is saying, I am these, what does it mean? Like we'll hear, Krishna will say, amongst the senses, I'm the mind, or amongst the aquatic, I'm the shark. What does that means? Means these are like vibhuti, majestic aspect, is power. Yes, vibhuti can be understood in the sentence, in one sentence, one among many. So that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it, one above many. So many material manifestations are there, among them one is special. Just like in aquatic world, there are so many varieties of fish. Navalaksha, Jalaja Navalakshani. Jalaja means aquatic, amongst the species in the water. Navalakshani, 900,000. 900,000 species in the aquatic. So that's a big number, variety. So many material manifestations are there, but among them one is special. So it is one among many. And Vibhuti, this chapter, we are starting now, that this chapter is called Vibhuti Yoga, or opulence of the absolute. Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada translate. Vibhuti Yoga enables us to connect one among many to one above the many. So you have to remember that. The Supreme Lord, who is transcendental. So Vibhuti Yoga chapter takes us from one among the many to one above the many. One among the many is one particular manifestation of the Lord. So we can move from spark to the whole by the connection of Vibhuti Yoga. You have to connect it. Okay, this person has talent. Like Prabhupada was looking at a painting, staring at it. And then after 10, 15 minutes, he said, Krishna gave this man intelligent, very high talent. So he can move from spark to the whole by the connection of Vibhuti Yoga. We can move, if you can remember this, that from spark to the whole or Krishna. How? By the connection of Vibhuti Yoga. Or this person has talent, it has come from Supreme Lord. So was Prabhupada looking at the man's intelligence, or he saw Krishna's giving this man intelligence? He saw Krishna. Yes, this is how it should be seen. Otherwise, it will be misunderstood. Chapter 10. So we take our consciousness through this understanding to the Supreme Lord. So one among many indicates that it's also material, you can say. Amongst aquatic, I'm the shark, Krishna says, I'm the shark. So you can say shark is still material. Yes, that is true. But one above many refers to the one who is transcendental. So the shark should take us to Krishna immediately. Not that we are staring at the shark, admiring about the shark. As long as we have that clear understanding, then we'll get benefited, purified, spiritualized by reading this chapter. So again, what is Vibhuti Yoga? Vibhuti. Bhuti means influence. Vibhuti means wealth. The last verse, one verse previous to that, states that everything attractive, jat jat vibhuti mat sattam simat urjitam evava tat tat avagacchatam mamate jangsha sambhava. So that states that everything attractive manifests a spark of all attractiveness of Krishna. That means whatever pleasure any object may provide us is only a tiny spark of the light and warmth that Krishna can provide us. Just a little spark. Just imagine how much Krishna can provide us. So Vibhuti are empowered indirectly by Lord Krishna. And these are very wonderful. You can say, even the first sloka, that Bhagavad Gita is a revelation of love. Also, you can say an invitation to love. Invitation to love. So chapter 10, 1 to 7. Today we're going to read that, 1 to 7. If anyone eager to read also, let us begin with that. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirat Nashtapraya Sabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sivayam Uttam Slake Bhaktir Bhagavati Naistaki. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarvesha Kipa Sindhaveva Chapatitanam Pavanebho Vaishnave Bhunamuni. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Binda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. Okay, so we can begin with the text 1. Anybody would like to read? Chapter 10, text 1. Yes, Devi, go ahead.
Do you want me to read the shloka also?
Sloka, translation and purport.
Okay. Hari Bol. Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Bhuya eva mahabhaho rirume paramam vacha yatteham priyamanaya vakshayami hitkamyaya. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna. Because you are my dear friend, for your benefit, I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained." Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The word Bhagwan is explained thus by Parashar Muni. One who is full in 6 opulences, who has full strength, full fame, wealth, knowledge, beauty, and renunciation is Bhagwan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. While Krishna was present on this earth, he displayed all 6 opulences. Therefore, great sages like Parashar Muni have all accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, Krishna is instructing Arjuna in more confidential knowledge of his opulences and his work. Previously, beginning with the 7th chapter, the Lord has already explained his different energies and how they are acting. Now, in this chapter, he explains his specific opulences to Arjuna. In the previous chapter, he has clearly explained his different energies to establish devotion in firm conviction. Again, in this chapter, he tells Arjuna about his manifestations and various opulences. The more one hears about the Supreme God, the more one becomes fixed in devotional service. One should always hear about the Lord in the association of devotees. That will enhance one's devotional service. Discourses in the society of devotees can take place only among those who are really anxious to be in Krishna consciousness. Others cannot take part in such discourses. The Lord clearly tells Arjuna that because Arjuna is very dear to him, for his benefit, such discourses are taking place. Haribol.
Very nice. Thank you. So, the first sloka says that Sri Krishna is saying, listen again to Arjuna. Because you are my dear devotee, dear friend, for your benefit I shall speak to you further. Giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. That's very interesting. So because Arjuna is a devotee, Krishna is revealing this chapter. So in that sense, it is a more secret. So the verse says, Bhuya eva, again, certainly, Mahabahu, oh very powerful one. Srinume, please hear, Paramam Bacha, supreme words. Jatte aham priyamanaya. Because you are dear, Priya, Priya means dear, Priyamanaya. Because you are very dear to me. Therefore, Bhakshami, I shall speak Hita Kamaya for your benefit. So Krishna has started this chapter on a very personal note, isn't it? You devotee, you devote yourself to me, and I guarantee that you will come back to me. There is no doubt. Now, Krishna is speaking, I shall speak this more to you. Krishna is speaking a knowledge which is very dear to him, means Krishna. That knowledge, Krishna loves it, what he's going to reveal in this chapter. He likes it. Not likes it, he loves it. And he's speaking to people here, devotees, who are also very dear to him. So all of us also very dear to Krishna. And then the word he says, Paramam Bacha. This is the supreme truth, supreme words, which is knowledge of Bhagavan, which leads to bhakti. In order to be in love with someone, we need to know their identity completely, their personality, their mentality, their activity. So Krishna is revealing who he is, what is his identity, his personality, so we can be in love with God. And Srila Prabhupada's purport, you just read, the discourses in the society of devotee can take place only among those who are really anxious to be in Krishna consciousness. Prabhus and mothers, look at yourself. You have interest to become Krishna conscious. You want to come back to God. That's why you have joined like this. Srila Prabhupada's purport very clear on that. So we reserve our anxiety for material things, but we are not anxious about Krishna conscious things in general. Even Krishna conscious can be different level. People come to temple or their places of worship. For many reasons they go. They go out of fear. I don't want to go to hell. I want to go to heaven. Out of fear, people go. I saw during COVID, more people are going to their places of worship. People also, to get their desire fulfilled, they approach God. Also, sometime you'll see they go to churches, temples, synagogue out of duty. But above all, out of love, if someone goes. So at our level, Rupa Goswami Padre says, Jena kena prakarena mana Krishna niveshaya. Prabhupada made it very clear that by any means you come to Krishna. That's very important. By any means, whether you are afraid of the world, you are afraid, or you want to know, or you want to like really develop love for God, or out of duty you doing it, so the children will be raised very well, let me take them to temple. Whatever reason, just come to the association. That's very good. Because this part of Gita is a profoundly philosophical book, and its analysis of various level of yoga, connection, practice. You can intellectually demanding, but still its essence is not philosophical technical, but loving, reciprocity, loving. Through all its philosophy, Krishna reveals his love for Arjuna. Because he said, the first sloka, if you look at word to word meaning, because I love you, I'm going to reveal this. So Krishna loves him. And he invites reciprocal love from Arjuna and from all of us. Through Arjuna, he's teaching the whole world. Srila Prabhupada mercifully revealed Krishna's, God's intention to everyone, for everyone. So this essential intention animates the whole Gita. It starts, middle, and end. In the Gita's first instructive section, second chapter 11 to 30, Krishna spoke the philosophy of the soul out of loving concern for Arjuna. To free him from lamentation, he spoke 25, 28, 30. I remember we read those and we discussed that. And in the middle section, Krishna proclaimed, now in this chapter, because you are dear to me, I will speak again the most confidential knowledge for your benefit. So nice. He's speaking the confidential knowledge for our benefit. So devotees affectionately offer their heart and life to Krishna. How do we know who is offering their? Well, we are here to listen and discuss about. Ask yourself why you joined today. Because you want to hear about Krishna. You want to discuss about Krishna. That's how the heart, when we say heart, heart is not made of some pumping oxygen only. Heart is made of awareness, your thinking, your feeling. Heart where the desire comes to please him, to love him, to serve him. So even at the end of Bhagavad Gita, we'll see that Gita's conclusion takes us its affectionate essence to crescendo. Krishna expressed his love. How? By acknowledging Arjuna's free will. I mentioned this many times. I'm sure you all heard it enough. That Krishna will never make a decision for you. You make your own decision, whether you want to love him or not. It has to be free choice. When you make the decision and then you ask for help, Lord will help you. But Lord will not make a decision for you. You make your own decision. Just like Prabhupada made his own decision to serve and please his Guru Maharaj. How he will do that, he is praying to Krishna. He literally prayed many times. Even he wrote a song when he arrived in harbor, Boston Harbor. So Arjuna clearly, dearly, and also he revealed his well-being. Like Krishna also in a reciprocation, he is assuring Arjuna protection from all sinful reaction. This is the end of Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna also complimenting this revelation of love. Krishna expand an invitation of love. To love, offer your mind, heart, manmana, bhavamat, bhakta, majjaj, imam namaskuru. And Krishna repeated this twice. So, dear devotees, when we focus on the love that the Gita reveals and inspires, Bhagavad Gita study will no longer seem intellectually intimidating, but will become spiritually enlivening. Okay, so let us read text 2. Who would like to? Hare Krishna, come on here, Prabhu.
Can I read, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Text 2. Name vidu surga prabhavam na maharshaya aham adivhi devanam maharshyam cha sarvasha. Na, never, me, my, vidu, no, suragana, the demigods, prabhavam, origin, opulences, no, never, Maharasha, great sages, aham, I am, adi, the origin, he, certainly, devanam, of the demigods, maharishinam, of the great sages, cha, also, sarvasha, in all respect. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Neither the host of demigods, nor the great sages know my origin or opulences. In every respect, I am the source of the demigods and sages. Prabhupada. As stated in Brahma Samhita, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord. No one is greater than him. He is the cause of all the causes. Here it is also stated by the Lord personally that he is the cause of all the demigods and sages. Even the demigods and great sages cannot understand Krishna. They can understand neither his name nor his personality. So what is the position of the so-called scholars of this tiny planet? No one can understand why the Supreme God comes to earth as an ordinary human being and executes such wonderful, uncommon activities. One should know that scholarship is not qualification necessary to understand Krishna. Even the demigods and the great sages have tried to understand Krishna by their mental speculation, and they have failed to do so. In the Srimad Bhagavatam also, it is clearly said that even the great demigods are not able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They can speculate to the limits of their imperfect senses and can reach the opposite conclusion of impersonalism, of something not manifested by the three qualities of material nature. Or they can imagine something by mental speculation. But it is not possible to understand Krishna by such foolish speculation. Here is the Lord indirectly says that if anyone wants to know the absolute truth, here I am present as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am supreme. One should know this. Although one cannot understand the inconceivable Lord who is personally present, he nonetheless exists. We can actually understand Krishna, who is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge, simply by studying his words in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. The conception of God as some ruling power or as the impersonal Brahman can be reached by the persons who are in the inferior energy of the Lord. But the personality of Godhead cannot be conceived unless one is in transcendental position. Because most men cannot understand Krishna in his actual position, out of his causeless mercy, he descends to show favor to such speculators. Yet, despite the Supreme Lord's uncommon activities, these speculators, due to contamination in the material energy, still think that the impersonal Brahman is the Supreme. Only the devotees who are fully surrendered unto the Supreme Lord can understand, by the grace of the Supreme Personality, that He is Krishna. The devotees of the Lord do not bother about the impersonal Brahman conception of God. Their faith and devotion bring them to surrender immediately unto the Supreme Lord, and out of the causeless mercy of Krishna, they can understand Krishna. No one else can understand him. So even if great sages agree, what is Atma, what is Supreme, it is He who we have to worship.
Very nice. Thank you, Guru.
Thank you.
So this second verse is very striking that I don't know how many of you ever thought the demigod, they are so close to God, they must know God well. Well, this verse does not say that. This verse, Krishna himself revealing, say neither the host of the demigods nor the great sages. You're talking about Sapta Rishis, big sages. Now Krishna says they don't know his origin or opulences. Even though in every respect, Krishna is the source of the demigod and the sages. So let's break it down again a little bit. No me bidu, no me bidu. I am not known. Bidu means to know. By whom? Suragana. Sura means demigod. Asura is demon. Suragana here means various demigods. There are 33 main, and then under them there are millions in under each. So there's a Tetris Koti, 330 million. And they are the leaders are like Astobasu, 8 Boshus, 11 Rudras, so and 12 Adityas. So 12 and 8 is 20, and 11, 31, and then Ashwini Kumar Dai, 2. So that's 33. They are the main leaders of the demigods. Prabhava, my origin are not known by the demigods. Krishna made it very clear. What to speak of demigod, even the Maharshaya do not know me, means the sages. Like who are the great sages? Like Brihaspati, Brigu, like this. And now you may say, why they don't know? Aham adihi devanam, because I came before them. Maharshinam cha sarvasa. Even all the Maharshis, they came after me. Just like we don't know when we are born who is our origin of our father. Then we learn slowly, oh, he has his father too. Like that, we have some idea. So Krishna has no cause, and it's very difficult to understand easily unless they have a faith, unless they are devotee. It is difficult. In 10th canto, we see that Brahmaji, Indra, all got bewildered by Krishna. Brahmaji was thinking like, is this my father? This little boy? So that's why Brahmaji tested. And then when he was testing, he was winning. But no, it was not winning. Actually, Krishna was putting in a trap. He thought he was winning, then found himself into illusion. Then he realized he did not know who Krishna is. That's why Brahmaji's conclusion is, if you want to know Krishna, go to Brajabashis. How many of you ever, I know you all have a deity. Did you ever check the deity's body? Like you check the arm, are you getting strong? I'm feeding you so nice prasadam. Does anyone in the Zoom ever do this to your deity, see if they are growing strong, if Krishna is strong? The Brajabashis, for 1 year, Brahma Viman Leela, for 1 year, that Brahmaji went and came back, that is 1 year of our earthly time, he was shocked when he failed. When he failed to recognize that what he did mistake. You all know that past times that when Brahmaji came out, because whenever there are serious prayers like we do, when you pray, when you chant very nicely, you get attention of demigods. They know what's going on. Indra may get nervous. Hey, this devotee in Alachua or in this world, somewhere getting too serious. So then some demigod may get scared of their position, like Indra. He gets scared that you may develop enough power that you may throw him out and you take over his position. So what does he do? He will throw a lot of test called temptation in your life. And you may feel like, why me? Why I have to go through so tough life? It's not a tough life. You want to advance? You must face the challenges. Prahlad Maharaj did not have enemy. Prahlad Maharaj was not born with enemy. You may say, well, his father was demon, but yeah, there was no enmity. When an enmity started, when enemy started, the moment he started bhakti, he started glorifying Krishna, his father said, this is too much. Who is teaching him? And then he failed with Shanda and Amarka. They failed. Their teacher failed. Then they said to Hiranyakashipu, some or other, this is like coming automatically from him. He's like born with it. And then challenge came to a point that his father think, we need to kill him. Can you believe? Can you imagine? Your own father kill you. Prahlad Maharaj. Now, Prahlad Maharaj was he born with the enemy? No. When enemy is born, his father became enemy. The moment he started advancing in Krishna consciousness. I'm hammering that point again. Should we advance or not advance? Well, ISKCON started advancing. When as ISKCON started taking, seriously under Prabhupada's guidance, they throw a bomb in Los Angeles temple. Prabhupada was there. And Prabhupada sat down in the Vaishashana and he taught Nishinga prayers. And then he said, he revealed the same thing. He says, as we are advancing, the demoniac attack will be there. Some of you may think like, oh, I don't have a demoniac, nobody's attacking me. Your own mind. Your own mind is the biggest enemy sometime, not the outsider. Maya has access to your mind. Mind is a product of this world. Abham manasya gochara. That verse, where do you get mind from? Sattvagun, in false ego. False ego in contact with Sattvagun comes the mind. False ego in contact with Rajagun comes the material intelligence. Sattvagun comes in contact with also demigods. They appeared from Sattvagun. So, how is this that Sattvagun mind become the terrible enemy? Because it's born from here, and of course, my intention is not to scare you, but you have to be aware. Krishna says, you have to subdue mind. It's not an option. It's must. 6.5, we already read that. Uddharet atma atmanayam natma avashadayet atmaiva atmana bandhur atmaibari puratmana. The mind will become your enemy when you are not Krishna conscious. And mind will become your friend when you rigidly follow your Guru's instruction, Krishna's instruction. You have to subdue mind. There's no other way. There is no other way. And everybody has a mind. Mind will create all the obstacles in your life. I face that a lot too. But Prabhupada says, do not be afraid. Because advancement means you are attracting enemy. But you hold tightly Guru and Krishna's lotus feet. They will protect you and you will advance, advance, advance and get out from material nature. Get out doesn't mean you die. Get out means you get out of the three modes. If you don't get out of the three modes, you cannot have a relationship with Krishna. This morning we were reading in the temple. It was very interesting. And if we really think very deeply, that can we advance, can we develop our, or can we revive our relationship? Can we develop relationship with Krishna with the three modes? No. No. This morning we read was the 3.9. If you have 33, 3.9.33. If you look at that verse, it's a very interesting verse. That we have to understand that so long we are in the material nature, it is difficult. You don't have to die to establish the relationship with Krishna. You just have to uplift your consciousness. That's all. Uplift your consciousness and then you will. And you will see, Krishna gives that very good logic, 3.9.33, that how a person or like you and me, we are, is completely free from the three modes of material nature. I don't like this person. That's a modes of material nature. Oh, I love this person. That's also modes of material nature. So what is above? You see the relationship with Krishna. That person is a soul belong to Krishna. I should remind that soul about Krishna. We can serve that soul by reminding Krishna. Then you go above three modes. We have to be aware of the three modes, of course. How do we become above? By aware and make a decision to stay above. Then possible. And then when you go above three modes, that time you attain a relationship with Krishna. Dear devotees, that time you actually experience Krishna's protection in your life. And also this rasa, Santa rasa, Daisya rasa, Sakya rasa, it's only manifest when you are above three modes, not before. Not before. Before we try to imagine, that's why imitation is condemned in our process. We don't have to imitate. I mean, if you ask that question, in what stage can one attain Krishna? Krishna answered to that verse that person should be free from the receptacle of the gunas in the form of the body and senses. This means the jiva should give up the complete connection with the body and senses. It doesn't mean that one should give up Atma. When a person sees the self completely devoid of the senses, body, and sees that the jiva has attained a relationship with the Lord. Prabhuji and Mother, right now, our life, we should be aware of the three modes. In Bhagavad Gita, there is a 3 chapters. Krishna talk about this. 3, not 1 chapter, 2 chapter. Chapter 14, chapter 17, chapter 18. He very clearly explained these 3 modes. Why do we have to know all 3 modes? Because you have to go, in order to defeat the enemy, you have to know that enemy. If you don't know how the enemy looks like when attacking in your consciousness, how are you going to avoid? So you have to know what is tamagun, what is rajagun, what is sattvagun. And then slowly, slowly, you go out of it. And that time, possible, you can tangible relationship you can feel with the Lord. Because Brahmaji mentioned in his prayers, impersonal and personal form of the Lord, that when Gyani sees this Atma or self, in his Swarup, he sees relationship with the Lord and he attains liberation. When devotees see that he is endowed with the spiritual form, Sachidananda, when he sees Krishna, Sachidananda form, he also sees that I am Sachidananda, also part of that. Because he is above 3 modes. At that time, he established a Santaras, Parabrahma Paramatma Gyana Praveen. He became fully aware what is Sachidananda. Sat, eternity. Chit, knowledge. Ananda, bliss. When he starts seeing it, just like in the temple deity, I hope we all always think they are Sachidananda, not like made by some marble wala or sculpture wala or something like that. It is Sachidananda. When a devotee sees that he is endowed with the spiritual form, that time his relationship is Santa. And then he will elevate himself by serving in a dasya. Then a form of a friend for Shekharas, form of a parent for Vatsalyaras, form of a lover, Madhurjaras. And I'm endowed with a form as Parabrahma, master, friend, son, or lover. And that soul, that devotee, attains a state with his Lord as a Chit Rupa. Okay, yes, Kamaniya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. My humble
Dandavat
obeisance is at your to speak, and Dandavat Pranam to all the Vaishnavas Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you mentioned just now that once you surpass these three modes, you can have a rasas will manifest or something. So, like, first of all, is it possible for to be into this material body? A human being can surpass all three modes, and if it is, then how actually? What are the indications that he will, he is like surpassing the topmost mode, which is like sattva mode. How we will know that you are again going above the sattva mode? How a person, is there any kind of a manifestation come into the picture to understand that you are really progressing towards surpassing those three modes?
One of the easiest way, according to Srila Prabhupada's mercy, Bhagavatam 5.4.5, you can check. There are 8 symptoms that if you are out of 3 modes or not. You can literally check. First thing, according to that, Prabhupada's explanation, what I remember, that you follow strictly this 4 regulatory principle. You never think of breaking this. Then you are. That's the first checkpoint. This is many devotees think like that sometimes. Oh, this body is material, so how? The body is material does not mean it has to be under 3 modes. It can be spiritualized. Like the iron, in contact with the fire, they assume the quality of the fire. So when the devotee said to Prabhupada, well, it's still iron, Prabhupada said, touch it. When you touch it, you don't see it is iron. It is fire. You get burned. Why did it burn? Because that's what it's supposed to do. So spiritualization means we act in our on spiritual platform. Apahata papna, bijaro, bimrittu, bishuka, bijigatsa, apipasa, satta kama, satta sankalpa. You can read that purport and check all these 8 points. You can be in this body, at the same time you are liberated. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Sure, Kavali. Thank you. I will check. 5.4.5, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, dear Prabhus and mothers, thank you for joining. Any other takeaway or further discussion? We have a minute. Otherwise, looking forward to see all of you again soon, next Wednesday. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram
Srila
Hare Hare.
Prabhupada ki Jai.